Hi, welcome back. I'm Antonio from the AV Team Real Estate channel. Before we get into this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and also hit the notification bell so that you won't miss any of our future videos. Okay, let's get into the topic of this video. It is June, and here is a little update about the newly approved stress test that was officially approved starting in June 1st, 2021. If you are still not aware yet, this is a planning for the worst case scenario. It is just a way to determine whether you could afford the mortgage if things went south for whatever reason. Whether you lose your job, or you get a reduction in your income, or you end up refinancing your home and you are locked in with a very or higher interest rate. So all this was to ask yourself if you'd be able to afford the home and come up with the monthly payment every month, or simply not going into foreclosure and etc. During the pandemic period, we were introduced with lower interest rate. For matter of fact, it was one of the lowest rates in the history. This was to help maintain the real estate industry. However, this actually sparked the home prices even farther and faster than we expected. We all know that this all-time low interest rate would not remain forever, and this stress test was in a way to actually slow down the real estate as a whole and making sure that people can afford if later in the future the interests do go back up. In addition, they are actually thinking that with this stress test, it could be helpful in the long term to hope that some kind of price correction could be as a result, hence helping for the first-time home buyers. Whether that will work, it remains to be seen. So let's say the mortgage right now, the rate is 1.99%, which is extremely low at the current time. Even with this incredibly low rate, your bank or mortgage lender will use a more conservative affordability calculation in determining how much mortgage you are eligible for. So here is a little table to show you what is the 2% and the stress test will affect your rate right now. So instead of using the actual rate at 1.99%, the lender will add another 2% more, and if it's still less than 5.25%, they would use the 5.25% as a stress test. For example, this is a reference from the Bank of Montreal, calculation that the new stress test would treat a 1 million mortgage approval to actually 955,000, so more or less in between like 4 to 4.5%. It is estimated that this proposal will reduce the purchasing power for some of the uninsured borrowers by between 4% to 4.5%. This basically protects your lender in case you cannot make the payments. A quick reminder, the borrowing rate that you actually get approved for are not the same as what you have been tested for. So let's say the 5.25% is not the actual rate you will lock into, and it is actually the current interest rate that could be maybe less than 2%. And again, it is just a safety measure for the lenders. Don't forget, you are really not paying in cash for the full purchase, but instead you are only using like 10 or 20% of the cash, and the lender or banks are actually funding the remaining of the 80% or more for the property. So again, this is just a buffer security to protect the lenders moving forward. And now you may ask what we think going forward now with this newly mortgage stress test. Just to be clear, I and our team, we are not any financial advisors. So if you ask our opinion, what it would look like in the near future, I think most likely it will be shifting from some kind of house sectors to other sectors. And what do I mean by that? Our forecast for prices specifically, some housing sectors such as townhomes, semi-detached, detached homes, like overall for freehold, are going to see some pricing to be more kind of stable or flattened, since it is in a tier going up in record high, right, during the pandemic. But in the other hand, the condo market, since it is still relatively cheaper and more affordable for first-time home buyers or even investors, this is the sector where we will have the most price actions. And I do believe that it will be most impactful in the area of downtown area, where the economy actually slowly opening up, retail stores and entertainment and financial district, and even commercial real estate starting to come alive. Especially right now in Toronto market, where most of the adults is closing to 65% that is being vaccinated for the first vaccine. So it's actually moving towards opening up, maybe even in the summer of this year. And the big giant tech companies such as Google, Amazon, Shopify, and more that invested so much during the pandemic, we know that there will be flooded of jobs opportunities. On top of that, once the travel is lifted again, which can open up to immigration, and Toronto already estimated for 400,000 per year that they are trying to get approved for the immigration. And there is also education and university. This will make more downtown Toronto more desirable to live and coming back to normal. And especially with condo prices more affordable, you can get a one bedroom from 500,000 to 600 range. And if you look for townhouses and homes, that would be north of 1 million. So for this reason alone, I could see that there will be much more people jumping into the condo market, especially in downtown area of Toronto. And one last reminder that any mortgage that were signed before June 1st but actually closed after June 1st are still not affected by this new stress test. So make sure you speak to your mortgage advisor or brokers if you need more details. Okay, now with this, we will wrap up a weekly video. And if you like the video, please, you know what to do. Hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that you won't miss any of our future videos. And I will see you in the next one.